Well, now two protesters who resent being called nutty or un-American, both lifelong Democrats who oppose the president's health care plan as it stands right now. Now, they just attended a fairly lively rally in Michigan. Barbara and Bill Cornish joining me right now from Southfield, Michigan. Barbara and Bill, welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Hi, Neil.
First off, I'm going to get the obligatory question out of the way. Did anyone put you up to attending the rally you attended?
No,
Absolutely not. The stories about people being dropped off by buses, that didn't happen.
How did you get to your rally?
This is the first one we've ever decided to go to, besides, local issues or something, but we got in the car and found out there was going to be one in Romulus, and so we found our way there, and it was very orderly. People standing in line, kind of talking with each other. It was very quiet.
And what was their sentiment like when you were there? What were folks saying? Bill, what were they saying?
Well, I think they were all pretty much like we were. We didn't see anybody protesting or at all, really. They're just concerned and have questions about what's in the bill, written in the bill that we've seen, and what the politicians are telling us is in the bill. And clearly there's some discrepancies, and we'd like to know the differences.
Now, when you were allowed, or I don't know if you both or one of you asked questions, how did that go?
Well, in our case, Dingle actually, the group, we had to write down a question. We were not allowed to stand and give one through a microphone. We wrote down questions, passed them in, and then they selected the questions that they were going to answer. So what happened is when Dingle would give an answer, of course, somebody would stand up and say, well, wait a minute, there's more to this. So you get a reaction to the fact that there really was no discussion. It was just a presentation of answers that he selected.
Now, Barbara, this was the event where the dad with the son who had cerebral palsy got very animated, right, because he felt that his questions weren't being answered, and he had to be removed from the forum. What precipitated that? That he got a little too heated, or what?
Well, there were a lot of, first of all, this event was very, very staged. As we were standing in line, there were people who were in line who had signs that were supporting the bill and supporting Congressman Dingle. And then those people kind of exited the line, and there was a big window next to us, and we saw them being ushered out and going through a back door into the meeting room, and ultimately those people filled up the front 4 rows of the meeting room. And it was a very festering frustration kind of thing. So anytime there was some support for the bill, people were in the front 4 rows were holding up signs and cheering and everything, and the people who were in the remaining part of the meeting area were feeling like there is no discussion. And when Nancy Pelosi was talking about how people would be shouting and not having a discussion, there was no opportunity for discussion.
So you're saying we're so used to hearing the criticism that these things are staged, manufactured, AstroTurf events, if you will, that you're saying, yeah, they're staged all right, but on the other side, that you felt that this was staged to make it look like a Democrat-friendly or at least healthcare reform-friendly crowd, right?
Clearly, in this case, clearly that was the case. The only people allowed in the room with signs were the supporters that were up front. And there was actually a gentleman in there, an African American, carrying around a sign outside with Obama as a picture of Hitler. And it turned out later, after the meeting, he was outside handing out Dingle information on the health care program. So it appears that he was part of the Dingle operation to start with.
To villainize the president, right?
Yep.
Guys, you've been to a rally. I'm sorry, Barbara, but I did want to ask you this. Yeah. You've been to an event. You know what goes on there. Now both sides are beginning to question the value of these events. What do you say?
I think for me, the value of the event is that it should convey to our elected officials that they're not getting it. It's about time that they are open to hearing exactly what the people are saying. And there's so many things in this bill that are downright scary. They really are.
So, Bill, let me ask you, when Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer say that those who protest loudly are un-American. I don't know how loudly you or your wife protest, but how do you feel about that?
I think that only makes people like us more angry. I don't think we're really protesters in the sense that news indicates people are sometimes. We're not the ones who yell and scream. But when we've seen this kind of event that was very peaceful, and 99% of the people that we met and saw there were not there to yell, but they certainly yelled when they got a response from Dingell that was contrary to what the language was in the bill. So somebody had to stand up and yell for somebody to hear that, oh, wait a minute, that wasn't the whole story, and we didn't get the rest of the story.
Bill and Barbara, thank you both very much. Glad you're safe and well and able to talk with me here. We'll see how this...
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.